And if we ask the stars what they mean, what would they say back to us? Welcome. You want to go on a card journey today? Give me some of your time, and I'll give you some of your story. Well, let's see what the cards say. Hey there, Sagittarius. Welcome to Koi Plays Tarot. My name is Koi. I'm going to be your tarot card reader for today. What we're going to be looking at is, at least for this round of reads, your career read for the month of October. So opportunities, ventures, partnerships, the things that we want to invest our work and our labor into. As a preamble to this read, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, but don't always be so willing to reverse. At times, I know that the conversation can get difficult, and that's okay, because as your tarot card reader, I would never purposely misguide you. Just follow along with me in the read today, and let's see what the cards say. Because again, I'm always excited, especially for the career reads. What's everybody getting up to? Let's see what you got, Sag. Show us the cards that we need to see, please. We're going to be using a past, present, future orientation for Sagittarius in this career read. Almost flew out, but didn't. What are the cards that we need to see, please, for Sag in the career read today? And don't mind the sweating. I went to the gym earlier. Dang. Well, those answers are quick. I went to the gym earlier and, getting back into not only shave, but like the dedication of that cycle. It's been a very fun experience. I'm just kind of running away today because of different things that happened. But that'll be gone into at a different time. Good things, though. So, what cards flew out while I was shuffling? Ooh, boy. Starting from the top. King of Swords. Okay. Having the capacity to make right decisions, but also kind of cutthroat, particularly in a career path. Let's try to understand why. The Page of Cups. A base level happiness. So why is that the space we're operating from? King of Cups. Good. I like that. So just stopping right there before we trail down even further. Remember not only the purpose of why we do what we do, but also to be able to handle duality, right? I'm looking at Sagittarius who, yes, their fulfillment is, I want to dedicate myself to this career path. Very true, very honest. And in the King of Swords, here's what must be done, right? And it sounds, so just raw utilitarian, right? Just sounds so, ooh, that is kind of, again, cutthroat energy of just getting to a point. But there is the honesty of, okay, if I am saying that I'm doing what I'm doing, then where am I going, right? Where am I going? And that is what we're trying to remember right now. Hangman. Okay, yeah, that that makes sense. And so the reason being is because not only were you trapped in suspension, but you were kind of stuck in a state of observance too much, right? Analysis paralysis, where we had to be like, oh, yes, it is useful to have discernment. It is not useful for me to stay there permanently, right? We can have both. We can have our wants and also meet our needs. There we go. Empress. And why do we do it? Not simply because we love the career path, but we understand that the next step involves evolution of the self. Here, the Empress is suggesting that, okay, if I'm saying that I want all this, what does that tangibly look like? Not just the feelings, not just my feelings about it. I know my feelings about it. My feelings are sky high. What do I have to do to get there? How can I push myself properly to do what is necessary? Okay, I can accept that. It makes a lot of sense. Next, in the present orientation, what of the here and now for Sagittarius in this reading? Real to Sag what they need to see, please, in their career read today. What are the cards that we need to see, please, for Sagittarius in their career read? That's a break. Whew. What do we need to see for Sag in their career? Very close, but none of these cards are flying out. And if they don't fly out, I don't take them. What do we need to see for Sagittarius in their career? Because again, I think you were trying to motivate yourself into a state of activation, Sag. That's pretty obvious. But more than point out the obvious a lot, there's a notion of, okay, did I analyze right? Right. And I think that was why we were so minimizing with that Page of Cups there in the past, is that, okay, if I didn't do this right, what does that mean? But moving from that space. And when we get so caught up in that, we forget, it doesn't always have to be perfect. It just has to be. In the present, 5 of Cups. Okay. Sorrow and remorse. How so? Okay. Death. Card of Scorpio. The energy of full-blown transformation. 4 of Swords. Okay. And so, from past to present, how long did we stay there? I guess that's my bigger question that comes up right now, right? How long did we stay in the notion of, I can wait this out, I can hold on, right now, that level of pain and having to accept that, because I see that 4 of Swords not simply as relaxation, but here, just particularly because it's placement Sag, I'm seeing that as, well, we're here now, right? It's this almost soft and cold acceptance of like, full regret over what we could have done differently and also sooner, right? So the notion of death here is not simply the complete obliteration of a dream. That's not what's going on, but it's rather the fact of, let this be a reminder of time waits for no one, right? In the present, we're asking ourselves, okay, if an opportunity ran its course or its time frame is up, then I have to accept that right now. But more than just accepting that, I have to understand how I got here, right? There's a lesson in this. Otherwise, there wouldn't be transformation, right? Death gets such a bad rep, in my opinion, because of like horror media, but it ultimately represents transformation of the self or transformation, whatever cycle. But in order for another thing to come out, one thing must end, right? They go hand in hand. And so having that death, not only is the recognition of pain, right? That's what we're doing, at least in terms of the emotional effective right now. But we're also saying, yeah, and it doesn't have to be like that anymore. It does not have to be just a story and narrative full of pain and non-fulfillment and, hey, here we are. I can kick myself for what I felt I could have done better, or I can accept myself for where I am. And things don't have to be perfect, but I'm still going to be okay. Future orientation. Show the cards that we need to see, please, for Sagittarius. Future orientation in their career read. What are the cards that we need to see, please, for Sagittarius in their career read? That's a break. Again, I know this conversation is tough, Sag, but it's more to the point of, in my present, where I can reflect happily upon the past. I guess a better question is, why aren't we giving ourselves the credit for what we did right? And the reason I'm saying you did something right is that you wouldn't have put yourself in suspension for no reason, right? The ultimate goal was that Empress. And so I know we minimized our feelings around something, and that was probably a big hindrance before we came to certain conclusions. But ultimately, it still spells out the same notion of where I am, who I am, and what I want to do. I still got to make some choices, right? Don't blame yourself too much. But if we're here now, how can we make the best of it? Show us the cards that we need to see, please, for Sagittarius in their career read. What if? Huh? Didn't fly out. Yeah. In the future orientation. 4 of Wands. Okay, I like that. That's stability. Normally that's a card, one of the more romantic cards in the tarot deck. That represents, the sanctity of a relationship and a long-term dedication. But here in a career read, I'm seeing that as boundaries, right? I'm seeing that as, okay, if I don't want to feel that pain, then what can I not betray myself on, right? If I see that opportunity, then I have to go for it. If I'm saying that these are available to me, then I'm not going to take it for granted, right? I'm going to work and dedicate to myself what that career path, what that craft means to me. Temperance, card of Sagittarius, that is you. And good. I'm glad we're putting ourselves first now. And we're not debating the what if and the negative. We're embracing the what if and the positive. The Emperor, the card of Aries, and it starts with making choices. It starts with saying, I'm here now and I deserve. Underneath it all, the World. The highest even of the major arcana. And in this world, understanding that, you know what? It may not have been perfect, but I'm still okay. An opportunity may have passed me by, and so will another one come up. Yeah, I'm regretful about what didn't go right. That is very obvious and true in my present, but that isn't all of me. I have a lot of life to live, and I have a lot of life to give. From what I'm seeing in this read right now, Sag, let this be a learning point, a learning opportunity. Let this be a lesson. Let this be the notion that, hey, I didn't do everything perfect, and I may be regretful that opportunity passed me by. And if I keep on focusing on that, I won't see the beauty of what I did do right. I won't be able to see all that I can create. And once I can accept that pain of, yeah, I wish that opportunity, was still open. But if it was still open, then would I have made a decision towards it? Right? It's easy to say that in hindsight, and I'm seeing that particularly in your present, but we're also learning to accept there are reasons I didn't accept that, and I have to acknowledge that as well. Right? There were reasons I couldn't accept that offer, couldn't make that deal. And that is where I'm at right now. And I had to be kind to myself, had to be nice to myself and understand why I behaved in that way so that when something like this comes around again, which it very much looks like it can in your future, Sag, when something like that comes around my way, I don't even need to blink twice. I just say, boom, right there. That's me. Right? A cycle's completion. Are we there yet? No. But will we be? Very much yes. Cards of connection. Really connective energies between all time orientations located here in this read define what occupies the empty space that is held between first, the past and present orientations for Sagittarius in their career read. Between what was and what is, show the cards of me and see, please, for Sagittarius in their career. Right. The Five of Pentacles, the notion of being left behind. Or a state of, particularly in a career read, the state of impoverishment or that an opportunity just isn't open to you right now. Right. Ten of Cups. Interesting. And even then, the positivity of harmony. I know it doesn't feel like that, but what happens if it really wasn't meant for you? I know that's what we wanted the most right now, right, Sag? Was whatever this was and how we try to analyze it from 50 different angles and still came to the same conclusion. Maybe the bigger thing was the lesson, not just the opportunity itself. The Wands. In anticipation of the horizon. And so when I'm forced to understand that, yes, this opportunity, it's past, and I have to look towards the future, I have to try to understand. That's probably why we're having such, transformative energy in the present, Sag, because we have to say, okay, what is the lesson I need to learn from this? Because I can sit here in pain and anger, and rightfully so. I wouldn't want to dismiss that. But ultimately, if it ain't for me and the option ain't open, well, I can't sit here and always debate the what if of what could have been with this. Where are we going? Where can, the archer shoot their arrow? I have to understand that maybe, just maybe, this wasn't the right thing for me. And I wasn't the right person at that time. But when something else comes up, well then, what does that look like? Now, another set of connective cards. Let's look between the present and the future orientation for Sagittarius in this career read. Show us the cards that we need to see, please. We're rest between now and what if. for Sag in their career read. Ten of Swords. Okay. I got it. Painful conclusions and endings. And that's what will get you to the next step, is finalizing in your heart, yeah, it didn't play out the way I wanted it to. Four of Swords. And here, whereas the Four of Swords was a soft acceptance of the pain that still exists, here the Four of Swords says, again, I'm going to be okay. It's going to work out. Nine of Wands. Now, what efforts can we put forward, right? Although it seems tiresome and, especially if we had a hope and a dream dash, why do we bother? Because it's what we want to do, right? We're doing it on better terms. We're not going to make the mistake of where we were versus where we want to be again. And that's why we get to that future very bright and very forthright of saying, I'm here. What do we got to do now? Underneath it all, Six of Swords, forward movement. We're moving on. And that is a good thing. Okay. Define the major arcana strewn across the table for Sagittarius and their career reading. We first look to the Hangman. The Hangman from the past orientation. What about that state of suspension is significant for Sag? What is key to understand here in this read? To the Hangman. The King of Cups. Okay, so let's talk about that. The reason why I feel, kind of hesitant around that King of Cups is not because it's not coming from the emotionally right space, but there was so much internal debate that started to create unnecessary doubt, right? The King of Cups can hold the duality of all emotions, right? And that's why they're able to present the best version of themselves as they move forward. That's essentially what goes on with the King. That King of Cups now trapped in suspension while another King of Cups is already there. What do I actually feel? Well, I think we try to apply an effective answer with that King of Swords, right? Well, what's the answer? What's the answer? What's the answer? Instead of just asking, hey, if my feelings around this are messy, that's where I'm at, right? And so we try to, trap that answer or try to contain it so much that it wasn't effectively useful in the way the King of Cups can be. Because ultimately, the purpose of the King of Cups is to show emotional endearment in a way that is considering of all sides, right? It's considering of, what is possible versus what I feel, which may contradict the morally gray or right answer, especially in a career read, right? So when we took that King of Cups and said, this is why I'm presenting, versus the King of Cups where it's like, okay, but there's some other stuff we got to address here, it created an incompatible dynamic, Sag. To the Empress, the Ace of Swords. And so ultimately, trying to get towards your best and better self, the most productive self, what does that actually look like, right? What does that mean for you? And again, I think all of this, the opportunity itself, yes, it would have been nice, but the opportunity made you dig a little bit deeper into the self, right? Which means there's something to garner from it, even when it felt like we were losing. In Death and Transformation, the Ten of Cups, what harmony actually looks like. Okay, cool. And you have your Ten of Cups here in between the past and present. Now getting to the present, there is, again, I'm not saying that it's an easy acceptance, Sag, but I'm saying you're doing it right. I'm saying that with the understanding that, you know what, I can look back and say, maybe I wasn't the right person for that after all. And that doesn't mean I'm, downplaying myself or completely giving up on an opportunity or a dream. It's just the understanding of who I was and where I was in that moment. No matter how great the opportunity looked, there's a reason I wasn't there. There's a reason I wasn't accepted for it. There's a reason why we didn't make that deal. Whatever that means for you, Sag, is understanding that, no, even if I didn't like it initially, yeah, we harmonized in the right way because it got me better for whatever was going to be next. To you in the future, Three of Wands. What does it mean to look forward to the future self? What does it mean to look forward to healing, to being prepared, to knowing that the next time an opportunity comes like this, we're not going to hesitate at all? What does it mean to be ready? To the Emperor, Four of Cups. And so around the notion of apathy and disillusion, or just the notion of a time-built disdain, we're not going to accept that. We are making decisions now. Whereas here, I think we're trying to force a decision out. The future itself is like, listen, I don't have time to waste. What are we doing? What's the point? Get to it. Very big differential shift, because that is just a decision. Boom. We make it and let everything play out as it should. Show us what's crossing. Okay, the Hierophant. What is your spiritual calling here? What are we trying to do with the talent and the life that we have? Ace of Pentacles, a new opportunity awaits. And that's why I was saying, with everything heading towards your future, Sag, we have to understand that a present of disappointment is meant to be a learning opportunity, not a complete defeat. Resolution. The real cards of resolution for Sagittarius in this read. What is held in space of resolution for Sag in their read today? Resolution. Ten of Wands. Okay, the burden to carry. We're trying to understand, why did things play out the way that they did? And next, the King of Pentacles, how to make good and right investments. There we go. I like it, because again, there was a lesson to be had here. It wasn't just a loss of opportunity. There was so much that you gained, Sag. I want you to give yourself credit for what you did right. What you analyze correctly, how we're going to move forward and make better, different, and also immediate decisions underneath it all. Five of Cups. And here, whereas the pain of the present was just so prevalent and overbearing and just weighed us down, and you're underneath, it has a different story, because that Five of Cups is tied with the Six of Swords and the world. Yes, the pain is there, and I can still move on. Because again, I didn't do it perfect, but I'm going to be okay. So that's why seeing your read today, Sag, I like this. I really like this for you. You know, things may not have turned out initially how we exactly wanted or predicted they would. And I'm looking at somebody who's saying, yeah, and there's still a lot of work to do. There's still a lot of me to go find. I'm not giving up just because one opportunity went out the way or went out the door. In fact, maybe it was meant to, because if nothing else, I got the firm confirmation that if something's going to be right for me, I'm also going to be able to accept it with open arms and a full embrace. So that's why I see in your read today, Sag. Hope this conversation helped. And yeah, give yourself time, but you will get there. Take care, okay?